Hello, my name is Talia. I'm going to be your social worker for today. I'm just going to start the session with having each of you briefly introduce yourselves and just tell me your reason for being here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Mom.
Okay. So I'm Denise, and I am June's mother. I brought June here because we've been having some issues. She's been very defiant. We don't really have good communication. So it's just anger all around. And so I think it's just time that we have some help for a change.
Okay, thank you for sharing. June?
Yeah, my name is June, and I'm here because my mom wanted to come. So I came with her, but I agreed with her. We needed some help because we've been fighting a lot, and it's been getting very out of hand. So yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for sharing. And I know both of you mentioned that you guys have been, fighting, and there's been altercations between you guys. I'll go ahead and start with June. Like, what are those problems about?
Yeah, she doesn't respect me. She doesn't, she just cares about herself. She doesn't care about anybody else. And it's really frustrating. I mean, she just wants to come to my life and try to be a mom whenever she wants to. And it's just it doesn't work that way.
Okay. Denise, what do you think about what you just stated right now?
To a certain degree, I do agree with her because I know my past substance use was kind of obviously traumatizing for her, and I wasn't the best person to be around or the best mother. But now I want to try. I want to, it makes me sad that we can't even have a conversation without arguing or yelling at each other. So I know I haven't been the best person to be around or the best mom, but I'm ready for a change, and I hope June is too.
Okay, so it seems like you want change between your mother and daughter relationship. June, bless you. Can you tell me, what you expect to get out of this therapy session?
I think we need help. I think I want us, like she said, for us not to fight every time we talk because, we literally can't talk without fighting. So I think I agree with that.
Okay. So it seems like a commonality between what you guys want out of this counseling is better communication. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what is something that you guys think that you guys can begin working on communication? So when you guys do communicate now, what does that look like? I'd like for you, if it's okay with you, to role play the conversation that might get out of hand at home. So is that possible? What do you guys usually argue about?
So sometimes I'll get a call from school saying that she's not there after I've already dropped her off. So then I'm blowing up her phone, calling her, texting her, and then she shows up later after school's out, just like nothing's happening. And so I'll usually I'll go something like this, and I'll be like, where were you all day?
Don't mind your own business.
And then once she gives me that attitude, then that makes me get ticked off and then go off on her too.
Okay. So are these the usual conversations you guys have? They're not really quiet, and they're usually loud and abrupt, and you guys are yelling at each other.
Yeah, and it's we don't even have conversations. We just argue. She's always trying to confront me, and it's really frustrating. And we don't have any conversations, right?
And that's the thing. I'm not trying to confront her or argue with her every time, but when they call me from school saying she's not there when I just dropped her off, concerns me. Like, where is she? What is she doing? Who is she hanging out with? Because I've been there, I've done that, I've been down that path, and obviously it didn't go well for me. Yeah. So I don't want that for June.
Okay. So I'm going to do something a little bit differently right now. I'd like for you to be your mom, or act like as your mom, as Denise, and I'd like you to be June, okay? The same situation that you mentioned about calling her where she's at, where was she at the whole day. I want you to talk as if you'd want your mom to speak to you during that situation. And I'd like you to respond how you want June to respond to you. Is that okay? Can we do that?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So right now I'm going to call her, and this is how I would want.
Correct.
Okay. Hey June, I got a call from your school. They told me that you weren't there. Can you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I just didn't feel like going to class today. People are really loud, and I just didn't feel like dealing with teachers. So instead of going into school, I went to hang out with some friends outside of school.
Okay. So what did you guys think about that?
I think it was easier to get our point across and by talking to each other and not yelling at each other. Because then when we're yelling at each other, we're not really hearing the other person. We're just waiting for us to be able to respond. If that makes sense. Yeah. So I think by us just talking about it, and then we get to see the other person's point of view.
Yeah, I also like that. Well, like the way I talk to you, like that's how I would want you to talk to me. And I feel that, like, you've never done that. So I would like for you to do that. Instead of just yelling at me, I like you to just ask instead of just going crazy on me. And I have to get crazy on you too.
Denise, do you think that's something, or maybe the both of you guys can do, not get so angry when the other one is talking? And if, you do notice that your mom is losing her voice, what do you think you can do to not get angry with her as well?
Just walk away from her. But that'd probably get you mad too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, do you guys think within the next week you guys will be able to communicate more effectively, like the way you guys just role played? Mom, do you think you can, instead of calling June and yelling and asking her where she's at, do you think you can have a calmer voice and just be the concerned parent you are, but communicate to her in a more loving and kind way?
Yeah, I think that's something I can work on. I think I'm just very reactive, and when they tell me she's not where she's supposed to be, then a million things go through my head, and that's what gets me worked up. But now I understand why June doesn't respond well to that. Because we're both the same. We both get angry, but so I think that's something I can work on. Just handling my temper, annoying, just being more calm around her.
Okay. In June, do you think you can respond in a kinder and more loving way as well?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's something that I do want for us, so I'm willing to work at it.
Okay. So a big part of communication is essentially spending time together. Do you guys spend enough time together at this point?
We don't spend any time together. Literally, the only time we spend with each other is fighting.
All right. Do you think that possibly, what are some ways that you guys can communicate and have that alone time together? Like, what things can you guys do and share that communication amongst each other?
Go ice skating?
I've never been, but I guess we can try new things, so that can be something. I know I'm always working, and she's always busy too.
Yeah.
With school and whatnot, so I think just making time for that. And yeah, if you want to go ice skating, I've never been ice skating, but that's something we can try.
What do you want to do?
Doesn't matter, as long as we're spending time. I think we'll have a good time. We'll make the best out of it. So ice skating sounds fun.
Well, it looks like, you guys really do care about each other, and do want to, restore this relationship that was kind of broken in the past between you guys. So, is there something else that you guys believe needs working on during our counseling sessions?
I think for now, this would be good, right?
Yeah, I think as long as we have our communication order, other things will maybe fall into place. So.
Perfect. So within the next week, before we meet again, will you guys set up a time whenever it's convenient for you to get together and go ice skating or do something that you guys can do together? Is that possible?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.